Alright guys, so welcome back to the channel. Mark here with another exciting, delighting and much interesting video here on the channel. So this is coming from His Excellency Mr. Peter Gregory Obi. And 5 days ago, we saw him in Lagos. He was in Lagos for the demolition of the Lagos Trade Fair Market. Yes, the Igbos there called him. He was not there alone. He was there with Abaribe and others. And a few days later, he's out of the country again. In less than 1 week, he's out of the country again, back to the US where he was before. And over the weekend, there was so many activities for him over there that it was just a whole lot of packed up drama activities for him there in the US. And I would love to share with you some of those activities that he posted on his X page. Just a little update from what is happening around our principal, Mr. Peter Obi. We're starting with this first one. He said yesterday, 4th October evening in Washington, D.C., I addressed members of the Nigerian Friendship Association, a group of professionals that began nearly 30 years ago. When many of them were younger and studying in the United States, today they are accomplished professionals, mostly living around Washington, D.C., the Maryland and Virginia area and beyond. What struck me most about them is their unwavering commitment to education, which they have supported consistently over the years, both in the US and back home in Nigeria. He went on to say, education remains the most vital investment any nation can make in its future. With over 24 million out of school children, the highest number in the world, Nigeria has over 24 million reasons to fear what lies ahead if we fail to act and address education. No nation grows beyond the quality of its human capital and education. It is the foundation for building that capital. In a time when artificial intelligence AI is transforming the world of work and innovation, education is no longer optional. It is essential for daily life. We must equip our young people with the knowledge and skill to compete globally, not just to survive, but to lead. The efforts of associations like the Nigerian Friendship Association give hope that together we can rebuild Nigeria through learning, compassion, and collective action. A new Nigeria is possible. Peel. That's the first article, and this was more of like a dinner setup, a dinner meeting. Some of the pictures is what you're seeing now. So more of like a dinner setup meeting, and yes, he spoke at length in that event. Then secondly, another of his activity also from the US, he went on to say, today Sunday the 5th of October, this one is coming from yesterday 2025, I participated as a guest speaker at the first Ubuntu African Youth Assembly webinar series of the Global Peace Foundation under the organization Africa Resilience Initiative. The event took place at the Global Peace Foundation headquarters in the Washington, D.C. That's to let you know that he was still in the Washington, D.C. That's the capital of the United States of America. He said, I interacted with many young people across the continent who asked insightful questions about ethical leadership, accountability, good governance, and youth active participation in sustainable development and human flourishing. The Ubuntu African Youth Assembly aims to foster and strengthen ethical leadership, empowering African youth to become valuable actors in Africa affairs now and in the future through intentional engagement among themselves and with African elders who possesses proven moral authority. It is also aimed to provide a continental platform where African youth and elders engage in ethical leadership, formation, and intergenerational dialogue inspired by Ubuntu values and foster collaboration for African sustainable future. The webinar provided me with the opportunity to share ideas on continental transformation grounded in the ideal of Ubuntu. I am, because we are collectively, we can build a better Africa. We apply the fundamental values of Ubuntu, caring for one another, living for others and us and our society, and dignifying our most valuable asset, the millions of young people across the continent. PO. They also gave, will I say, a roundup there. PO, that's Peter Obi. These are some of the activities he did over the weekend in the US. And yeah, he decided to share with us how his stay in the US was and everything. Now, this last one was posted some hours ago by His Excellency as well. He said, a danger of making crime a norm. I think this one is talking about Nigeria as a nation, but let's go into the article too because it's also important. He said, whenever I talk about Nigeria being a crime scene, those who are part of the criminality and their hirelings will quickly start their noise making, attacking and blackmailing me. But how do you tell people that those who integrity, character and behavior are supposed to be exemplary and emulated in the society have become the very source of the nation's decay? How do you tell the young Nigerians to be honest and upright when those who are supposed to emulate are the least to be emulated because they are criminals and dishonest? He went on to say, certificate forgery is a serious criminal offense in all countries of the world. It is one of the most corrupt practices, heavily punished. That is very true. In one of my knowledge-seeking visits to Indonesia early this year, after interacting with several ministers responsible for health, villages, SMEs, planning and education, as well as the Vice President and President Joko Widodo on development, I met with the chairman of the General Election Commission of Indonesia. I asked him about the educational qualification required to participate in election from local government to state legislative, governorship, and up to the presidential level. He openly stated this qualification to me. My team and I then asked for a simple question. What happened if someone contests for a public office with a forged certificate or did not attend the school he claimed he attended? He looked at me surprised and shook and said, that attracts immediate disqualification and prosecution. It is a criminal offense. He added, if someone can forge a certificate, how can that person be trusted to lead others? But in my country, Nigeria, though the law are same as other countries, that forgery is punished by immediate disqualification, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, made no effort to scrutinize certificates before the election, overlooks complaints of forgery, and when you challenge after the election, court will dismiss the serious criminal issue as pre-election matter without giving this criminal act appropriate punishment. INEC, even after the election, does not bother to revisit or investigate those serious offense before the next election. He went on to say, the other concerning issues from all this is how criminals and dishonest people scale through all the scrutiny layer, security, parliament, and government apparatus set to handle such. Even more disturbing, amounting to double tragedy, is that most of these dishonest people swore to an affidavit before a law court attesting to the authenticity of the document they presented. He went on to say, we are now preparing for the 2027 general election. INEC have enough time to investigate past complaints about various forms of forgery and false claim. Our electoral amendment must include that anyone intending to contest for any public office, whether an incumbent or in a new candidate, must submit all academic qualification to the electoral body immediately after party primaries, at least 6 months before the election. This certificate, alongside details of school attended, what was studied, and years of study, should be made public for verification. Within 90 days, this process must also apply to appointed officials, ministers, and even aides, because when dishonesty starts from the top, it spreads to every level of governance, just like it is happening now. We must deal with certificate forgery holistically, with the seriousness and level of criminality it deserves. Criminal offenses should not be dismissed as a mere procedural matter. It must end the era where forgery and deceit are rewarded with power. True leadership must begin with truth. A new Nigeria is possible. That's Peter Gregory Obi. All of these things, I wish I had started with this article of the electoral process, but nevertheless, I believe most of you will watch the video up to this moment and you will share your thoughts, because to be honest, the 2027 election is just by the corner. Few months from now, campaign will begin, and when this campaign begin, a lot of these activities that were not looked upon will start coming up again. And trust me, for a nation like us, Nigeria, it is high time we start to look into some of these things and, you know, ensure that everything is done right. 2027, we will get it right as a people. We'll liberate Nigeria and, yeah, make way for a good leaders in this country. Peter Obi deserves to be the president of this country. I am saying it with my full chest because, yes, this man has, in the past 2 years plus, has proven himself beyond all measurable doubts that he can move this country from point A to point D without any hesitation. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys on the next one.